Hello, my friends, and welcome to the brand new Nightmare Mode. That's right, in the most recent version of the beta, they've completely reworked how Nightmare Mode works, adding brand new, dangerous enemies in the later waves, but reducing the number of environmental projectiles. I think that this is a great change, and we're going to jump in and check it out. We'll be playing one of the characters that people have said is the hardest, one of the ones that they've been suffering the most with, the Beastmaster, going into Nightmare Mode here. The Beastmaster struggles, especially on Crash Zone, which is what we're playing, because you don't have a lot of control over what you're killing, so you can get overwhelmed by the more difficult, faster enemies. I'm also going to go with the cat as our starting pet here, because we do have a little more control over what it attacks, so starting with the cat can be a little bit better. We'll just remain motionless here. So the way that they've changed Nightmare Mode is instead of environmental projectiles showing up every wave, they now only show up some waves. You can see that they're marked here in the pause screen. But more dangerous enemies start appearing in the last, I think starting at wave 14, you start getting way more dangerous enemies showing up. These are upgraded versions of the existing enemies. I am playing on Crash Zone because at time of recording, there is a game-breaking error on the Abyss, so I got to wave 18, but you can't get past wave 18 right now. Obviously, the game is still in beta. That's going to happen, but we're playing on Crash Zone. I've seen some of the new enemies on the Abyss, and they're incredibly cool, so I'm really looking forward to the new enemies on Crash Zone. Now, with the Beastmaster, I think that what you need to do is a little unintuitive here. You need to ignore all of these items and hard roll for rats. A turret isn't also an option, because this is another way to clear enemies, but even that I think we're going to pass on. Similarly, Scared Sausage looks like it's going to be good, but you just need as many rats as you can get in the early game, similar to rolling for weapons on any other character. This will let you get the clear speed that you need to survive the extremely dangerous early waves for the Beastmaster, and especially wave 6 on Crash Zone, which is now the hardest wave in the game, and pretty tough to survive with this character, because you don't have good control over what enemies you're killing at any given time, meaning that there's going to be a lot of summons running around if you, which you won't be able to stop from spawning. So we're going to get as many rats as we can. I'm not banning any other level 1 items. I want to save my bans for level 2 so that we can get the level 2 pets to start appearing. But even things like Bag that we would normally take, we're just ignoring on this character. And we're going to hard roll for a rat every single shop, basically up until like wave 6. In order to make sure that we get that we can survive the early game. Now this is this is my first time playing Beastmaster on Nightmare Mode. This is theory crafting this strategy. But I think that this is going to be the most likely way that we can guarantee surviving the extremely difficult early waves. I will still take some harvesting because that'll give me some economy as we go, but we're mostly just rolling to make sure that we can find a bunch of rats and those rats can kill stuff. Now the Beastmaster, all of your pets scale with every damage type. So something like Reinforced Steel is actually +5 damage on all of them. That being said, I'm still going to ban it, even though it's relatively efficient, because I want to ban as many level 2 items as possible so that we can start getting the level 2 pets to appear. Also, you'll notice I passed that fertilizer, we passed the bag, we're just passing everything. This character just has different rules for what you want to buy, and in this case, it's rats. I do need to pick up a little more melee damage and a little more HP so that our rats actually can kill enemies. Because right now, they are not that strong. Our cat running down to the bottom of the map here did kind of hurt us as well. Because it meant that I had to position near the bottom of the map where the environmental projectiles are coming from this wave. And in order to keep my cat attacking regularly. Here, I'll definitely take the tree, and then we'll pick up 2 armor. Armor is pretty important as well, and we'll take a rat. Mastery is only +3 damage for this character. So again, we're going to ban it, and then we'll re-roll here, and we'll buy another rat. All right, I think 6 is enough. I can start buying other items. Garden. Is that one I want to ban? It's an okay item. I would be happy to have it, but again, I think we're going to ban it. I'll lock the hedgehog, because I do need more basic damage, just all kinds of damage on this character. Scared Sausage, we will probably end up building elemental damage, but I think it's not worth locking. I'm going to roll for just base damage on our character again. And of course, more pets, which is the main thing that we need, especially going into wave 6 here. And finding the bottom mine and another rat is the ideal situation. What I would really love is an item that gave me, like, HP and damage, like a little muscly dude would be kind of the perfect pickup for us at this point, because it would help all our rats a lot, since they scale with HP as well as all the damage types on the Beastmaster. But so far, so good. We're making it out of the early game relatively intact. I did steal some material pickup there from my loot worm. All right, I will lose 1 damage to get the Lost Duck here. I think that's fine. Obviously, you don't want to buy attack speed on this character because it doesn't affect pets at all. I could take 3 engineering. I could also roll for a different stat here, but there's no guarantee that we get +3. Like a level 2 melee damage would be better, but the engineering is better than like a level 2 ranged damage or elemental damage where you only get 2, and obviously better than a level 1 upgrade. So we're just going to take that, then I'll take 3 armor, and then we'll keep buying more pets and more damage. Small fish I could ban to get a free reroll. Now, there's no downside to this item on the Beastmaster, so I think I will just lock it, actually, because I do need a little bit more damage. One other change that they've made is that the pets now cast a light radius on darkness waves, pets, and structures. I will say I'm not a huge fan of this change, actually, because I think it makes the darkness waves less cool when every structure and every pet has a light radius. Also, by the way, strategy working perfectly. We're passing wave 6 with flying colors so far, killing every egg before it hatches and killing all the goobers as soon as they spawn, thanks to having a legion of rats on our side. So far so good. The theory is bearing out in practice. Obviously, I need more defensive stats. We only have 18 health. Now we can take like a bag. I will take 3 ranged damage as well. It's less efficient than other damage types for us, but still good. We don't need Lumberjack Shirt, but I will take Small Fish. I'll take Pile of Books, because this is 3 engineering, and Crit Chance also affects all of our pets. So it is still worth buying. And then we're going to roll here. A Catling Gun, perfect. And then I need some healing, but let's take the tree, and we will lock both of these items as well. Pets do benefit from lifesteal. The only things they don't care about are attack speed and range, so we can buy all of this type of stat. And then we'll go to wave 7. All right, so I do definitely need more HP and armor. We're still not phenomenal on damage this wave, but we are clearing the wave quickly enough that we're not getting overwhelmed by the big slasher type enemies. So that's exactly what we were hoping for when we picked the Beastmaster here. And when we bought all these rats to help us out. Also, you should still pick up materials from your loot worm. It's not going to be able to grab, even though you start with a loot worm on this character, it's not going to be able to grab all of them, so you need to make sure that you're getting some. I don't think we want the level 3 dodge upgrade. It's going to be much later on that we build dodge, if at all. So I'm going to roll for other stats, and here I'm just going to take 4 melee damage. You get plenty of speed on this character just by buying pets. And then I'm going to take 3 armor to max out my defensive capabilities. We'll buy a Catling Gun, Mushroom, Bat, and I could buy Cyberball. I could also ban Cyberball. I think buying it is fine. It's similar to a pet in that it does splash damage around the map, so it is the type of thing that we want. We'll lock a Scar here, and I don't... I could buy Toxic Sludge, but it's not amazing, so I'm just going to reroll. Okay, we'll take a Jelly Shield, Weird Food, and I guess I'll take Lumberjack Shirt just to pull it out of the pool at this point. It doesn't help that much because our Loot Worm is killing the trees for us, but it is still worth grabbing. At this point, we have more rats than there are enemies on the field, and only one rat can aggro to a given enemy at a time. So a lot of them are just sitting idle, which is kind of funny. Have to dodge all of these armored enemies. Ouch. Okay, I walked into that attack, so now I need to be a little bit more careful. But we can run over and get some consumable heal pickups, and that'll heal me back to full, hopefully, and then I'm just going to dodge away from this big group of enemies. Our rats are no longer keeping every enemy on the field dead, so we did need to play a little more carefully there. 3 HP is great. I will take another Lost Duck again, even at the cost of some damage. I don't think I need more harvesting at this point. Let's just take 2 ranged damage. It's not the best way to build damage, but still good. Jelly Shield I do like on this difficulty setting. We will take a Pearl, like Cake, and Duct Tape. Do I want Medical Turret? I think that... I mean, it's a good way to heal on this character, but I think, again, I'm just going to ban it because I want as many level 2 items banned as possible so that, again, we can keep getting our pets. Pearl, I think, is worth buying because we have a lot of luck already, so it'll be relatively easy for the Pearl to give us good % damage. This wave could be kind of tough because there's going to be enough enemies on the field that our rat will not clear every one of the goobers right away. And so we could just end up with a lot of those running around. You can see I'm taking a decent amount of damage. I do need... Now, the good thing is that the rats they're melee, so they effectively pierce. Anything that walks on top of them is going to take damage, so... If I put a rat in between me and all of these little horde enemies, they'll all die as they run into it. Pretty quickly, because the rats have relatively fast cooldown between their attacks. Alright, so made it past wave 9. That's another kind of pain point. I have +2 consumable heal, so we can take an alien, or an alien worm there. We'll take the 8% damage, because my % damage is very low. Range, of course, does nothing for the Beastmaster, so we're going to reroll that. And I could take 7 crit chance, but I think I just need more damage, so let's roll again. We'll take 4 melee damage. Perfect. I'll then buy out this whole shop. That gives me a lot more defensive stats, which is great. Dock Moth is a way to heal. Bandana's kind of interesting as well. It works with our Catling Gun for piercing shots. That's the only thing it works with, though. I think what I'm going to do here is just buy the Broken Mouth, and I'll buy the Dock Moth and then reroll. We will end up buying a bunch of elemental damage, probably, but I don't think Snowball's going to be that good. I guess it's a unique item we can pull out of the pool. I think I'm just going to ban Riposte because it's just such an inefficient way to buy melee damage. And I will... Do I want the Snowball? I'm going to take elemental damage items when I see them, so it makes them more efficient, but I think we just need more damage right away. And so I think we're just going to ban both of these. Again, even though they're unique, I really just want to find more items, and then I'll ban the honey using my last ban for a free reroll right away, so that I can get stuff like a rat. We will take Cauldron. This is a unique level 2 I can pull out of the pool. And I'm going to roll again. I'm still, again, just looking for more pets. Like this Catling Gun, that's perfect. This character ends up with a really strong mid-game power spike if you get enough pets. So that's kind of the goal here, is we just need to get as much damage as we can find and as many pets as we can find so that we clear every enemy as it spawns. And that's going to let me see the new, more dangerous enemies, which will hopefully be the only ones on the map. Staying in the moth aura here. Gonna back off and get some consumable healing. Pick up a little bit more. Stay in the moth aura. Back away again. I'm definitely running out of damage at this point. We're still clearing most of the waves. Candy bag. Okay, so we care about every damage type. We don't care about range or attack speed, but all the defensive stats are good, so I will take the candy bag. Obviously, this could go horribly wrong, because elites are pretty dangerous for us still. But right now, we just need raw stats across the board, so it's exactly the type of thing that we're looking for. I could take 3 lifesteal, that's a good healing. I could roll for armor. I could also just take 12% damage. I think I'm just going to take the percent damage because we just need way more damage on this character right now. 2 more rats is great. We'll take a vigilante ring. The turret, I think, is just not enough damage to be worth it. I'll take the mutation, though. It's +2. And weird ghost, we don't have enough healing to make use of right now, so we're going to pass on that. Alright, did we get... now, I've got triple cat, so that should be enough to keep the rib cages away from me this wave. Also, it's nice that our dock moths stacked, because if I go into their aura, I'll now heal for 3 every instance of healing, because each of them will increase my healing by +1, so every regen will be worth 3 times as much, every lifesteal will be worth 3 times as much. If we're in the moth aura here. But mostly this wave, I'm just worried about survival. So we're letting our cats do the killing. Really would like a bonk dog or a blazemander before we go into the next wave, because it's a horde wave. And so we're going to need, again, as much clear speed as we can get. But we're making decent income. We'll happily take a Catling gun. Pets do benefit from crit chance, so we'll take the insanity here. And then I'm going to reroll. Even though this is worth 1% damage with our Pearl, I think I still need, yeah, something like this 6 melee damage upgrade more. We'll buy the Vigilante Ring, and I'll buy all of those items. And then reroll. Definitely a metal. Alien Worm. It does hurt my consumable healing, but I think it gives me enough defenses that we want it. Fuel tank is only +2 damage, so I'm not going to bother with that. Alright, did we get an elite spawn? We did not, so that's good. I'm going to try to stay clustered in this pile of cats here. You know, the ideal weekend. Because they will hopefully do enough damage that the horde aliens won't get close, and our rats can chase everything else down. We're probably going to leave a lot of materials on the ground, but I should be able to venture out to pick some up later in the wave. I'm being careful not to leave the aura, like the radius of where we've got the cats enraged, though, because as soon as we leave the enrage area, they're going to start wandering off in random directions, and then we won't have this stack of 4 turrets, effectively. And it'll put me in a lot more danger, because we just won't be able to keep DPS concentrated in one spot on the map. We don't care about attack speed at all on this character. A free Pearl is great. We'll take the fresh meat, and then I'll pick up 2 more armor here. Now I'm going to take regeneration. We'll take the metal. I don't need movement speed. We're not building dodge currently, so we'll roll past all that. Thrilled with the fairy, of course. Incredible find. Lots of regeneration. And then, now that I've got that, I will buy the turret. I think we do want the Wandering Bot. No, I don't think we want Wandering Bot. Yes, it's a pet for the Beastmaster passive, but we already have 40% movement speed, so we just don't need it. I'll take HP and damage with no downside on this character is great. This is +4 damage, the wheat for 219. It's just not worth it, but we'll take a boxing glove. I currently have negative knockback, but 1 melee damage is good, 1 regen is very good. Alright, so I let one of the cats wander off, it looks like, but that should be okay. We should still be able to clear most enemies just as they spawn here. I will say that, you know, my hard rolling for only rats in the first 5 waves, even if we end up losing this run, fully justified. So I do think that that's how you want to approach the Beastmaster on Nightmare mode. Given that this is a character a lot of people have said they were struggling with, this seems like by far the most important thing is getting out of the very difficult early game for this character, and having found a strategy that makes that very reliable, you should be able to have an easier time winning with this character now. Yes, it costs me 3 crit chance, but 3 engineering is still good. Okay, I can start building dodge now that we got a +12 dodge upgrade. That's totally reasonable. We'll take these items. I don't mind capping my move speed at 50, mostly because higher than 50 move speed, actually it gets harder to dodge enemies. And of course, 8 regeneration and 8 engineering are great. I'll buy another pearl. When you have 1, you do start wanting more. Baby Gecko is good. It'll pull materials to the loot worm. Black belt, I have XP gain already, but I think both knockback and melee damage are pretty nice. I'm going to pass on the Clockwork Wasp. We only have the 1 bottom line right now, so the structure attack speed isn't that important. And then we're going to go to this next wave, and I'm going to run over here. Try to keep at least some of the cats in place for the Horde wave. Oh, okay, did you see that? We've got the more dangerous goobers spawning. Yikes. Okay, I did not know that that was one of the scary enemies on Crash Zone. But you're going to start seeing these horned summoners and then the horned junkies. Wow, those look cool. What a good... like I said, the graphics team has just been killing it on these updates. So really enjoying the way that the new enemies look. I also think that generally this is just a way better direction for Nightmare mode. I liked the old Nightmare mode. You know, I enjoyed the environmental projectiles, but it got kind of tiring having them every wave. And I think that having it be varied is much more interesting and fun. And also, it makes them feel more special. It also makes the darkness waves feel more special because before they kind of felt like a break where they're just easier than the off-screen projectiles. Now you have to think about the darkness waves, you have to think about the projectile waves, both, and that's just more interesting. We have a lot of flat damage. Let's take some percent damage here, and then we'll buy another pearl. We'll buy those items. The energy bracelet is just damage neutral, so it's just some crit chance. We don't want that. I'll take the bottom line for sure. Incendiary turret, I guess it's actually okay at this point. We have a lot of engineering, so I can take that. Power generator only counts permanent speed, which does not include the speed that you get from your pets. So there's not much point buying this on the Beastmaster. It's only going to be plus 5% damage. But of course, Jelly Shield and Catling Gun we're very happy with. All right, let's see what new enemies appear this wave. So more of the scary junkies. The goobers. What else are we seeing? Oh yeah, so the other change that they've made is that pets light up the darkness. Now every pet and structure casts a light radius. I don't love it, because I think that it makes the darkness a lot less scary and interesting. But it does help you know where those enemies actually are, which is kind of nice. I haven't seen any new enemies this wave. It looks like it's still just the horned summoners. The buffed enemies on Crash Zone are called horned, and the buffed enemies on the Abyss are called scaled. So if I say that, that's what I'm talking about. But the scaled summoners or horned summoners are still plenty scary right now. I'm gonna recycle the wings here. I have 0 consumable healing, so let's just recycle Alien Worm. I will take a fish hook. Cursed enemies, or cursed units can still be... Cursed items can still be pretty powerful. And then we'll lock that. We'll try to curse all this. We'll try to curse the padding as well. Not only is HP good, it's another unique level 2 item we can pull out of the pool and make more pets show up. Oh, a second darkness wave in a row, and this is an elite wave. Okay. I don't remember if this is a natural elite spawn or if we got a candy bag elite. So now that that thing's dead, I can start looking and seeing if there's more of the new enemies. Okay, yeah. So there's horned floaters and the guys that spawn projectiles when you hit them, and horned brain bugs. Those are probably really scary. Those having more health is very dangerous because they can buff some of the most dangerous enemies in the game. And you can see here that even though we were doing really well up to this point, we're starting to get a little overwhelmed just because the horned enemies and the cursed enemies have so much health. So we're falling a little behind on damage right now. Big arms, this is one of the best items we could possibly find. We don't care about losing any of these stats. And 18 damage for all of our pets, plus 3 knockback, which is pretty relevant, is all incredible. We'll take 3 regen there. We'll take 6 more melee damage. Obviously, Fishhook did nothing, and then we'll re-roll here. We'll buy a Beastmaster. Ashes, we don't care about the attack speed or range at all, so we'll pass on that, and we'll just lock a Cyclops Worm, which is an item that we do care about. And... okay, so I think that was a Candy Bag Elite, because we still have a Wave 18 Elite, and we've had 2 Horde Waves as well. Alright, so what scary enemies are going to show up this wave? Still more of the scary goobers. Do horned rib cages start spawning? If rib cages get buffed, that is terrifying, because they have a lot of HP. Part of the reason I wanted to play the Beastmaster is that I don't have to really pay attention to where my character is, so I can spend more time just looking at the enemies. But it is also true that some of them are dying off screen, so we aren't seeing as many of them. Seeing them in as much detail as if I was running at them. Looks like it's nothing new Wave 17, still just horned goobers. The Abyss had cooler enemies so far, I have to say. So too bad that there's a crash error on the Abyss right now. I'll take the cursed landmines just because it's cursed, and I will go to wave 18 here, and we'll fight this elite. Any chance that we can... We didn't get a second elite. Okay, so there's another horned goober. What else have we got? More brain bugs. And then I saw something pretty scary looking. Looks like there's some yeah, so there's like the horned helmet guys, but those are normal. They're always like that. There's the horned brain bug down in the left there. But wave 18, I'm still not seeing any new enemies, just new combinations of enemies. And I feel like on the Abyss, when I played it, there were more new enemies. But this is still really cool to see just new enemies, and I think that it makes sense to do it this way. Okay, yeah, we can take Hourglass. We have tons of regeneration. There will be another elite this wave, so I'm playing at 1 HP against an elite, and there's a chance that we spawn a second one, because we do still have the... I'll buy these 2 items, because they're both worth regen and damage. We do still have the candy bag, so there might be another elite this wave. And then we'll lock Doc Moth, we'll re-roll again, we'll lock all of these as well and go to wave 18. Then I'm going to try to regenerate here, and we'll go into the Moth Aura to regenerate a little faster. All right, we did not get a second elite this wave. But we did get a pretty free Hourglass, so we're going to get even stronger, which is awesome. After we play this run, also, I'll go into the Codex and look at the new enemies, by the way. I really love the horned brain bugs. They are a very cool design. And the horned goobers look really cool as well. I just haven't seen any other new enemies yet. But probably wave 19 we start seeing some really scary ones. And then I know there were some on wave 20 as well. Scapegoat, So I actually think that Scapegoat is pretty bad. It's 200 materials, and it almost never does anything, and it costs us 3 regen. I'm going to take it here just because it's fun, but I do think that this is an item that you should often skip on. I also don't want to lose 2 engineering there because all of our damage, of course, scales off of engineering. Yeah, we'll take a coil. We'll take a blood leech. I didn't end up building dodge, but we'll lock a Blazemander and a Hedgehog and go to wave 19 here. And we'll see if we get another elite. Are those just buffed normal, like, baby aliens? No, that can't be right. Okay, so horned brain bugs in the top right here again. And then what else have we got? We've got the normal horned chargers. We've got more brain bugs. We have still a normal horned charger and another one. They like the big armored chargers. I'm watching the Scapegoat to see what enemies are collecting around it. I think we're just too strong. We're just killing them before they show up on screen, which is really funny. My Scapegoat died tragically. Hunting Trophy obviously doesn't do anything just on wave 20. I don't need 12 dodge because it's just not very efficient here. So let's reroll. We'll take 4 armor. That's better healing or better defensive stats than the 12 dodge at this point. We'll take Cursed Coil. That's amazing. And then we can buy a bunch of these things and try to kill the bosses a little faster. I'm just going to reroll again here, and I'll take the Cursed Boxing Glove, which is going to be the most additional damage. And then I'll reroll a couple times just for fun, and we'll go to wave 20, and again see what potential new enemies there are on wave 20. Although I think we're just going to obliterate the bosses really fast. So more horned goobers. As soon as the boss walks into all of my cats, it just gets annihilated. So it's gonna run over here and just get absolutely flattened, which is really funny. And there it goes. I actually took a lot of damage there because I stood still and let it sit on top of me. But there we go. We got a win with the brand new Nightmare mode, which is super cool. Really love the changes to Nightmare mode. Let's take a look at the Codex here so that we can see the new enemies. So let's see. We've got the Horned Junkie. Okay, yeah, the Horned Fly, Horned Junkie, Horned Buffer. These we saw all of. Horned Charger, these already existed, so they're... oh no, it's actually different from the Armored Charger, right? No, Horned Charger already existed. Honestly, I can't... I am kind of not remembering. But then we found a couple question mark enemies that we haven't seen yet. So we didn't get the Horned Eggs, or the Horned Slashers is what those look like. And then this, I think, is an Abyssal Terrors enemy that didn't appear because, of course, I haven't played. I haven't played the last wave of Abyssal Terrors, which was Crashing. So it looks like there's only a couple new enemies on Crash Zone and more on the Abyss. where there are like the scaled anemones and blobfish, as well as some really dangerous goblin sharks and the really dangerous scaled enemies. Scaled dragonfish name. Scaled iron lung, scaled pufferfish. Yeah, there's a lot more new enemies on the Abyss than there are on Crash Zone. But even still, this is a really cool addition to the game. It may be that they're just missing the... I wonder if the last couple waves they didn't actually add these horned enemies to Crash Zone, and they need to add a couple more enemies if they just like missed that entry. Obviously, like I said, this is the most recent version of the beta, so there may be some bugs that we're encountering. But look at how cool these enemies look. I'm thrilled with this update so far, and I think it is a much more fun direction for Nightmare Mode, where the difficulty scales more towards the end of the run. New enemies or new types of enemies, even if they're just buffed versions of the existing ones, provide a lot of different and interesting play potential and things that you have to plan and play around, which is, I think, more interesting than just projectiles every wave. So really excited about this one. All right, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this look at the new Nightmare Mode, and as well as, of course, winning with the Beastmaster. You can see we've got our border here in Nightmare Mode, which many people said they were struggling with, so hopefully that's helpful, and hopefully the rat and roll strategy gives you the tools that you need to beat it. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.